The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
For your Wednesdays is where we do it. This is the safe place where our stories are told and met with compassion, love, understanding, and faith. This
mask kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I went in and they didn't find anything wrong with me. So I'm like, oh, well, that's good. And then, I went home. So,
Thank you, MBR.
yes.
Hey, MBR.
Yeah.
What's up, NBR?
But I thought it might be serious. You never know.
Well, I'm glad that it's not serious, but I'm sorry that you had to experience being treated like that.
Well, that doesn't beat them saying it's not like you're going to Delta India Echo.
Right.
They said that. I was going on a Salute Across America tour. The meds are supposed to come in the mail. They didn't come. The lady on the phone, oh, you can just go by the hospital. You can go by the hospital. They're ready for pickup, actually. So she doesn't say, well, you need to go during visiting hours when the pharmacy's open. She just goes, go there and get them. And I know that from being in the emergency room, they can issue you medication, like the pharmacy. They have a window for that.
They have a 24-hour window, yeah.
So then they couldn't help me. And then I talked to these emergency room people.
Welcome in, Nikki.
About to barely get off shift. And they're like, well, we can admit you and then get you these medications. And I had to be on a 47 long foot RV to do the Salute Across America tour thing. I just wish the lady on the phone said, well, you need to go there during pharmacy hours, not just go get them. They're ready to be picked up. There just was a miscommunication there, perhaps. And as a social worker, I'll definitely point things out like that.
Yeah.
But then the guy goes, it's not like you're going to DIE. And I'm like,
that's
whoa. God,
Yeah,
thank you for telling me this and not someone else, because
right.
I went to a cubby hole, waited for the pharmacy to open, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Thank you, Nikki.
what if this happened to someone that wasn't just had some things seriously going on, they might be in the parking lot, not alive, so I couldn't believe it. I went to the person, those people that you can talk to if you've
patient advocate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm not here for myself. I didn't even want to give them my name. I'm here for this to be corrected for the next patient, the next veteran, So anyway, that was in La Jolla, San Diego. It's chill there. It's so chill in San Diego, you guys.
Part of me has lost all confidence in the patient advocacy side of the VA because, and I know about this, but my old provider, I was like, hey, I'm service connected for these issues. Can I get in to see these specialists? And she won't refer me. She won't let me see any specialists. I don't trust her. She wouldn't send me to the neurologist for my aneurysm, any of this. And the crisis hotline was like, well, that's not a crisis problem. And so I called patient advocacy and I was like, I need a new provider. They were like, well, we can't give you a new provider because your provider can see you within 20 days. And it took, I think, a year for me to finally get a new provider because every time she would see me, I recorded me going into the appointments and James coming with me and being like, hey, I'm service connected for these issues. I'm service connected for my feet, right? I was like, can I see orthopedics? Can I see podiatry? And she was like, well, you can't do that. And you can't do that. And you can't do that. I finally got in with my neurologist and he was like, so what are you here for? It says you have a foot drop. And I was like, I have a brain aneurysm. He's like, oh, that's not in your record.
Thank you, Nikki.
It was insane.
Yeah, thank you, Nikki. I don't know why everything's not popping up on the screen for the CoinWise, but TikTok's been wonky lately.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got all zeros on mine.
As a whole, it doesn't show up. Sorry, I'm listening to everybody. I don't really have much with the VA to do with. So.
Well,
Doc,
My
you
little,
jump, you
my little
jumper can come up here and
shenanigans.
take care of mine.
My little shenanigans
Okay.
with the VA since Friday has been they have tried to send me to a neurologist to do a nerve conduction test when it's my C-spine that's a problem, not my nerves. Then they tried to send me to a chiropractor. And then they tried to send me to another neurologist that I'd already seen that refused to see me anymore because there's nothing he can do. And I haven't looked up yet. I did get a phone call at like 4:30 or so today that said that my my new provider had been assigned and that I was free to call and make my appointment. So I'm going to call orthopedics tomorrow and make sure that everything's set to go for me to go see them to try and get the disc replaced in my neck so that maybe I can stop being in pain all the freaking time.
Well, I mean, that's silver lining.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you know, I shouldn't have to do the VA's job, and I shouldn't have to do the doctor's staff's job either.
Agreed.
But I wound up having to call the doctor's office to get their MPI number and then turn around and call back to the VA to community care and give them that number because they're too sorry to mash a couple of buttons on the phone and make the phone call themselves. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I had to play phone tag earlier a couple weeks ago. I'd gone out to I requested an eye appointment and they sent me to community care, and the eye doctor was like, your vision is great, but you've got mild glaucoma, you should see an ophthalmologist. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, well, I told him, I said, they're not going to cover my appointment unless you call the VA and let them know that you need to refer me to the ophthalmologist, right? So I gave them the VA's number. I called the VA and the VA was like, well, no, you have to call them and they have to fax this number. So I called the ophthalmology place and I was like, I need you to fax this to the VA. They faxed it to the VA. They sent me a copy of the receipt of them faxing it to the VA, and the VA's like, we never got it. We never
Thank
got
you for the heartbeat.
Like, how do I see the fax receipt that says that you received it? Like, by the person that says, you know, like received by at the bottom with a signature, but you're saying you never got it. I don't understand.
Here you go. You said you wanted another female veteran in here.
Hello.
Hey guys.
How are you?
Fine. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Toxic.
Hello.
What branch were you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Army combat.
Oh, cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to make conversation.
I'm doing everything I can do on those posts and going back and forth with the radio station.
Listen,
I really
sorry
am.
for doing nothing.
Well, I'm being told to edit my posts and everything else. Like, I'm trying.
Thank you for the gift. It's not necessary. Listen, like I told you, go look at the group chat. They have decided they needed, after 6 days, to take a much needed break.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Thank you for the gift. It's not necessary. Listen, like I told you, go look at the group chat.
Who's that going?
Larry.
It was me. I just cut it off.
Oh.
He's always
I'm having a hard time seeing the chat down at the bottom, so I had to open it up on the computer so I could.
Well, put your bifocals on.
It's not that, dude. That infection come back in my eye.
Oh no!
I know.
I did take and get the last refill I had on the antibiotic that they gave me that got rid of it the last time, and it's gotten rid of it this time to where it's not hurting or anything, but I can tell that there is something wrong with that eye because it's not round anymore. It's flat across the front of my eye.
Oof.
That's not good.
Doesn't sound good.
No.
We need to
and-
get you a parrot and an eye patch.
I've got.
You could again.
Okay.
Don't turn.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know how that would work with Butch and Freya, because Freya likes to take the dove and stuff in the yard and the rabbits and everything else.
Oh, Cece will defend herself. Don't worry. She tried to pick a fight with Leia the other day. She snipped at Leia. Leia snipped back at her. She fell off the bed and squawked. And I was like, I told you not to pick a fight with the dog. Like.
So, while we're on the subject of dogs, I have a female vet friend that lives in Alabama.
Okay.
She just had to put down her little dog today. It was her emotional support animal. The next door neighbor has a pit bull, and their fence is broke, and the dog got in her backyard and attacked her ESA dog. And the vet's office finally told her there's nothing else that they can do, so she had to put her down today.
Okay, Whiskey.
State of Alabama. She is called the sheriff's department. She's called animal control, and neither one of them will do anything about it. The neighbors will not apologize. They are refusing to offer help her with the vet bills that were inquired, and basically told her they're not fixing the fence. All they did was went out there and put a piece of metal over the hole in the fence. It's not even secured. And she's having to go out. She had to get rid of her other dog so that didn't happen to it. And now she's having to walk out in her own freaking backyard with a Gulf uniform November in case the dog takes and goes through the fence because it's already attacked her once.
Here's what she needs to do.
Whoa, it's a pit bull that's attacking?
Yeah. The neighbor beats on the dog.
Obviously.
But the way the law is in Alabama, the dog has to attack a person before animal control or the sheriff's department can do anything about it.
That doesn't make any sense.
She is trying to get somebody to help her get a petition started, and get as many signatures as she possibly can on it to take and make Alabama change the law.
There is a. Let me look it up. I'll send it to you. There's actually a website that you can start free petitions on and get them going. Let me get that information over to you after this.
Okay. That's fine. But Alabama, the way the law is written, is it is a one bite law. It has to bite somebody first before.
Me know about change.org. You can actually do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking.
Find out we were talking about dogs. They wanted to come say hello.
But the bad thing is now
I'm not calling mine. He's laying down good.
Actually got a court order.
Hey, Lucky.
Got a judge to sign a court order for this vet to cease and assist carrying her Gulf uniform November because they're fearful for their life.
The other thing she should think about doing is calling a lawyer. There are pro bono lawyers that work for veterans for free.
So you say that.
I didn't think about that.
You say that, however, when all of my crap was going on years ago and I was trying to finalize everything, I could not find one.
You have to go. A lot of times, you have to go through the legal aid department, and legal aid will a lot of times does have lawyers on staff that will work with veterans.
But you know,
every state's different though, too. Emo.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though,
Hey,
is
Craig.
it seems that most of the time, 90% of the time, it's the veterans that take and suffer for those freaking stupid laws that these states have got.
Yeah. That is very true.
And I kind of think that as a veteran community, all veterans need to try and work a little bit better together to try and get some of this mess fixed to better our life.
Well, so that goes outside. You bring up a good point, and that goes outside of just social media. That goes to going to VFW. That goes to American Legion. Get included on what's locally available.
And our mental health is what suffers from it. I mean, literally, it's our mental health that suffers from that mess.
Sorry, I had to put that in the chat because there are non-stop calling chats. That's why I did that. I'm sorry, Larry.
You're good. But you know, we give them the freedom to do that, and then we get walked all over. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, so interesting story. I went to Home Depot today because I needed to get stuff for yard work, right? And they have those like veteran only parking spaces. And I parked in one because I didn't know what I was going to get. Last time I went, I got like a whole fuck ton of River. I'm a veteran. Well, you don't have any tags on your truck. Okay. Well, how do I know that you're a veteran?
None of your damn business.
That part, none of your business.
Like,
None of your damn business.
It made me so angry because immediately in my head I wanted to be like, are you questioning that I'm a veteran because I'm a girl? Are you questioning? Anything like that? Like, why are you questioning why I'm parking there? Like, it's not like I didn't take a handicap spot. It wasn't the only available space. Like, it
Emo, my wife's a 19 kilo. She's a veteran as well. So, see,
Haley,
she totally understands what you're going through because we go and we do things and they're like, oh, she's a vet. Yes, she's a vet.
Good. That's another check in the box to unbeat the VA because I'm going to be an intern there next fall and hopefully working there. And they should just
that we're vets because of all the BS that comes along with it half the time.
like what?
Depending where you're at, he's not right. So there's a lot of places where they actually looked down upon, this, that, and the other.
No,
on a
you're right.
veteran.
It is stigma.
Crap, and
You're
you
not
know,
wrong, Tim. You're not
I
wrong.
turn it around and I say, well, if you want to thank me, go find a vet in your community that paints houses or mows lawns or does real estate and gun them.
Person in a parking lot, but like
Exactly, Lita.
Oh, we're gonna make a new sign for the parking lot. It's gonna have a male and female silhouette, veteran parking.
Buddy, because we got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I love you all. Good seeing everybody.
love you too, Sarge.
Step Sarge, it was.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome anytime.
Everybody take care.
Okay.
Lady, you can come up if you want.
Kind of like the sir thing, you know, like say embrace it, but then have your fun with them. Because
I'm just gonna start wearing my grumpy old vet hat everywhere I go.
To be on that track. I'm just saying, you know, it's not enough of it. There's not enough of it to begin with, and whatever.
No, Emo, you need the one that says this veteran medicated for your protection.
I saw that, but I can't find it anywhere.
It used to be on the DV shop.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, I looked on there and I couldn't see it.
I know there was a meme going around that said like 007 and it said like 0 serotonin, 0 dopamine, 7 prescriptions or whatever. And I was like, somebody should make a veteran one that says like 0028 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the math. Like at blackjack, I use my fingers sometimes, you know, like.
Well, at least we know you can count to 20.
Well, she said she was 21, Your Honor, but
but I
You made her start explaining resting veteran face. I love that. Nikki, I unfortunately can't bring you up.
Lita, I want to see this shirt explaining veteran face.
Evening, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Why? I said I couldn't do that because only veterans are allowed in the box. Only veterans are allowed in the boxes, Larry.
Sorry, I'll leave.
Sorry, dude.
I just want to say I'm glad to see everybody's doing okay, and much love, much respect to everybody before I go to work. That's all I want to say.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Good night, Nikki.
Good night, Nikki.
But it's just my opinion, though, you guys. I don't mean to step on anyone's ideas or the way they feel or anything like that. I was just throwing out my opinion, okay? Because I care about you. That we all have, you know.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying though. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's.
All right, and no one has. I mean, I don't think that much, and but I feel a lot. But yeah.
Well, okay? Listen, I am tired of you downing yourself. Tell me 3 good things about yourself right now.
Above average. I'm just kidding. It still works, and
oh my God,
What do you expect, Emo?
Oh, and hey, I've got all A's and 1B in my master's degree class for social work.
That's awesome, dude.
Good job.
And I've never been there. I think we talked about high school percentage.
Yeah.
I thought that came up somewhere last
Yeah.
week.
Maybe.
I just didn't apply myself, you guys, because once they took the this honor class kids, you know,
Yeah.
like they scored this honor class kids, you know.
Yeah. Program that I'm trying to get into, and part of the music therapy is they teach you how to play the guitar, and so I'm waiting for that to start. I'm actually pretty excited about it. Like they use music to kind of help you like go through and do a bunch of stuff.
I didn't learn the names of the notes until my senior year.
I don't remember the names of the notes anymore.
I know that they were on the staff where it was, you know, with the position.
So, funny story. I originally wanted to play the French horn, and my parents bought me a flute for Christmas. So
I didn't know what a trumpet. I didn't know what a trombone was. My friend said, "Oh yeah, that's what that is," or something. I coming off the farm, and we had school horns the whole time. We never had, you know, 6 kids. We just that wasn't in the cards. But so I had to deal with whatever the school. Just that wasn't in the cards. And, hey, we got to have fun trips though, right? Like the colleges and field trips and stuff.
I wouldn't know. I never got to. I dropped out in 10th grade.
In band camp, there was band camp, but
I went into the Guard with my good enough diploma.
listen, I've been to band camp and I've been in church camp, and they. Whew. Yeah.
We had to go back out in the wilderness up in Oregon because we did paintballing and they were like frozen. It was in the snow. And so when all the snow went away, all this paint was everywhere. We had to go clean it up.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I remember one year we went to Baylor University for a camp. I don't remember which camp it was, but it was a whole big camp. Baylor is where the Texas Chainsaw Massacre happened.
Oh, wow.
That was interesting.
Wow, our band camp took us to Washington, D.C.
We went to St. Louis one year and went up to the Arch. That was really cool.
We went up to British Columbia, did like a band tour.
Mm-hmm.
And since I would eat a candy bar and sell a candy bar and break even, my grandma, she chaperoned. So me and grandma, we slept on these wrestling mats at the high school. Like some of the kids were in hotel rooms and my grandma's very frugal. And she slept with me on the wrestling mats. And I'm lucky she was with me because she didn't let me go in the forest with the other kids that ate some bad shrooms and they all got medevac.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That was at Pleasant Hill Jazz Festival.
Well, I feel like they were like, you're either here for a long time or you're here for a good time. So let's figure out which one it's going to be.
Oh,
Larry looks like he just saw something he didn't like.
No, the grandkids are running back and forth, and
oh no.
Yeah, well, one of them's actually sleeping out here in the living room, so.
So I'm thinking about doing sword manual at my salute in DC this year.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like kind of mixing it up from the salute to drawing the sword and doing the present arms kind of thing.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I thought it'd be kind of a neat touch. Give me a little break. Don't tell anyone. But self-preservation. It's just the salute thing I've done for 22 years in DC. Yeah. Well, and the thing is I better do it right because social media already eats me alive if I look a little chunky. Okay, like it happens, you guys. Okay, like, and I'm a rock, but I'm a motivated rock.
Listen.
You know?
Social media needs to ease up. All right. None of them are out there freaking doing that.
Well,
hey,
if it wasn't something you're putting your heart into, it might be a little easier to sidestep. But I sidestep and keep marching. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I've got an early morning, so I'm gonna let you guys go.
All right.
Have me in the box, Sarge. Love all.
I hope you have better news next week, Motivator.
Thanks. Love all of you. Have an amazing week.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Well, and Larry will be going to bed too. Look, really, dude? Really? You just got to say hi. Is that what that is?
That
Hey, Mark, how are you?
dog, that dog of yours is an attention. You know what?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Larry doesn't know what attention you know what is. He hadn't seen my dog, has he, Joe?
No, this one's crazy. And the fact that he's as tall as me when I'm sitting down is extra.
Wow.
No, but if it doesn't matter where I'm at in the house, he's never more than 2 foot from me. Always. Thinks he's got to protect me all the time in the house.
At least you get 2 feet. Roxy insists on laying on me from the time.
No,
we get up
normally
to the
I
time
don't
we
get 2
to bed.
feet. 2 feet is like the fart distance with him.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I know. Okay, I know. I'm okay.
I'm starting DoorDash.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna see how it works. I got the bags and.
So I do it, and good way to make extra money.
Yeah.
I average right around $25 an hour doing DoorDash. So it's definitely worth it. Definitely an easier way to make money. I will say though, I did turn off the shopping because I don't like shopping for myself, first off. So I don't want to go to stores looking for specific things for people. And I also turned off cash on delivery because they do it really weird. Like they'll say, go pick up an order at Pizza Hut. They're going to give you $50 cash, and then they're going to take it out of your pay at the end of the week or whatever. But since I have that Crimson card where it goes to my card every shift.
I just got that.
Yeah,
Okay.
where it goes to your card every single shift. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work for them to take it at the end of the week when I get paid every shift. So I did turn off the accept cash and shopping on mine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not working right now.
Hammer.
The internship's paid in the fall, but I got a few months. And I wanted to try to be more proactive and maybe knock some debt out along the way and stuff. And I need flexibility around the gigs I get to go to, and support.
Yeah.
Like the Vietnam Wall is coming in up in Pennsylvania in July. And they asked if I could come out and be part of that. And I'm trying to solicit people to come, and people that know people on the wall to come so they can help, tell a story about someone at the wall. Because that's what
that would be awesome.
When I took my Marines there were people like looking at the wall, and I just went up and said, hey, do you have a loved one or friend here at the wall? And they said, yes. And I go, would you please share with them a little bit about their life to my young Marines, make it more meaningful. Plus they feel like they're getting to share about their loved one, like at churches, at funerals, they cut it off too quick. Like if anyone wants to say anything about, someone there, that means a lot to the family. and people like get into cookie cutting it, you know? And I'm like, well, slow down, motivator. Let them talk, you know, because it's going to feel good to the family when they share something about their loved one, you know?
Yeah, especially stories that, you know, nobody knows or whatever else, you know what I mean? Like, people remember the good times.
Yeah. Yeah, they just get into cookie cutting and things like that. I don't do that, you know?
No, I get that. Like,
even my salute. I mean, I've done some things. I have an Army dog the last 3 years. He's come out with me. I put him in front of me and he saluted with me, a young Army guy. You know? Okay. And Marines have come out before, and kids come out and have them salute with me for a while. And a guy in a wheelchair came out 1 year. So, yeah, try to make it as special as I can for people. But
I think the sword's an awesome idea, though.
yeah, if I
really
make
do.
good money with DoorDash, then I'll go buy one, my friend. Okay, that's the other catchphrase of this evolution. Okay,
Yeah, no, I get
now,
it.
that doesn't mean I won't put some.
No, go ahead.
That doesn't mean I won't bust and put some hours in, though. I get that. I did Uber and Lyft. I did Instacart with the ruptured Achilles tendon when COVID went down. So I couldn't find a lot of things on the shelves. I stay away from specialty food stores. I bought extra toilet paper from Costco because that was a big thing, you know?
Yeah.
In California, they went after people that were selling toilet paper online on Craigslist, and they prosecuted them for charging whatever on Craigslist. I'm like, look, that payday loan place down the street, you're not going after them, you know, like all these high interest loans for the cars and all that. You ain't going after them. So what are you going after someone that's just like overpricing some toilet paper? Come on. You know, I didn't get it.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. No, but I use DoorDash. Like, that's how I take my trips. Like, I stack that money up, and that's how I'll take, like, trips or whatever else, take the kids out of state or myself if I need to get away.
Well, I'm starting to give a base flat fee for out-of-state gigs and in-state gigs because I just can't do it anymore. You know, like being out of pocket, you know, like so much. It's just it's funny. I went to this event and they're like, "Oh, we raised $40,000 for a vehicle, a painted vehicle." I'm like, "Oh, that's nice. I only spent $350 to come to this event, but okay. I'm glad that you got, you know, like a painted vehicle. I just didn't get it, you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for anything though. Okay, I'll tell you, right?
No, absolutely.
Right? I'm just saying, but it's changing though. It's changing. Okay. I
mean, but that's the thing too. You do a lot of things, you know what I mean, and you can't dig yourself into a hole financially and spread yourself that thin. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somehow my wife's been super duper supportive, and they can't find anything wrong with her liver. They clean the toxins out. She's got a pulpit or some girlfriend. She's 61, and they actually escorted her home. She couldn't walk, and she fell in the tub. And I think I told you I picked her up and said, "Hey, you better not fall down the steps, and if you do, you better write in your own BLOOD that Tim did not push me." You know, like, and she started to laugh and I almost dropped her. So there's something the last 4 months has changed her hair falling out, a lot of weight loss. She barely is getting around. I'm doing everything, holding down the fort. And she was supposed to be my cash cow because she does real estate and loans. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. And that's what, like, for instance, any of you guys could refer someone over to us, and wherever they are, we could send them we could go find the agent where they want to move and tell them what they want. And then say, "Hey, we vetted an agent that would work for you over there." And then Lorraine sends her 25% referral fee contract to that agent, you know? So
yeah,
then you might say, "Tim, let me talk to Lorraine. This guy's not explaining this to me," or something. And then Lorraine will be that backup for you. Like, okay, say, what are they doing? Or no, it's this. This is this, because she does the loans too. So she knows the whole thing, you know, the whole process, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's helpful. So that's one little thing, you know. 25% referral check is pretty fat, you know.
Oh no, for sure.
Just saying. And then it might not be any work involved at all, but you're just making that connection, and the agent's very happy to get that business. So, yeah, I'm actually studying to get my license too, because Lorraine doesn't know how to pay her taxes, and that's why she doesn't have my last name yet until she unbeeps that. But well, I was hoping something might shake the tree during this whatever we're going through. But anyway, so yeah, she's kind of slow on that, you know. And
hey, Panda.
Yeah, it's just it's yeah, whatever. But yeah, okay.
Hey, Magical.
Yep, I'm gonna hit it hard though, my friend. Been a little hesitant. It does run out though. People actually snag the shifts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking at that, right? Like when it's busy, all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
so you have to get your acceptance rate up and your like 5-star ratings up, because then once you do that, like I'm in gold status right now, so I can
Island. Is that where you're in the area now, or?
No, that was Long Island. I actually live in Missouri now.
You know the sunflower lady on here?
No, I do not.
Half the trip with her last year, and I went out to Web City for the event she does, you know?
Yeah.
And I told her I right now, and she wants me to come out like Thursday morning, and I don't know if I'm gonna. Well, maybe I won't be working actually now that I think about it, because I'm gonna do DoorDash, but because I was just gonna find a job, you know what I mean, like overnight job or something, just something. I don't know. Yeah.
I'll say one thing I realized: I prefer the DoorDash because I can set my own schedule. Number one, I don't have to deal with people unless, I'm handing them their food. Normally it's just you're putting their food on their porch or whatever, and you're taking a picture and leaving. So I like the fact that I don't have to deal with anybody. I can just do my own thing. That's a huge plus.
Yeah, and I would take a break when I was doing Uber, and I would do Uber Eats to take a break from people. That's funny that you say that because, I had to deal with people, and I have a clean car, like I take pride in my little vehicle with the gum, the candy, the cords, the water, like, and they slam your doors and they kick their dirt off their shoes, so yeah, I understand that, but I did do that for 12 painful years.
Oof. Yeah, no, somebody told me to look into that, like Lyft or Uber, and I'm like, no, no, I'm not going to do it. I just don't want random people in my car.
Yeah. My wife and
I'm with Tim. I wouldn't want nobody in my car leaving their dirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want random people in my car doing stuff like that.
And the girls are all talking to me like this while one's puking in the back seat.
Oh, no.
And they hand me a $5 bill when they get out. And then I think, oh, well, I took the photos to report it, but let me try to clean the floor a little bit and keep working. And then they kept rolling the windows back because they could smell it, obviously. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was even more embarrassed, and so, yeah, my wife and I both would leave at like 6 p.m. on Saturday, and we'd meet at Pacific Beach at 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, and we'd eat breakfast at Denny's, and then at 3:30 on, all of these rentals along the coastline, because it would be surging because they'd need to get to the airport.
Yeah.
So then that would get us over the hump of being exhausted. And then the sun would start to rise, kind of like when you're on guard duty. The most amazing thing is if the sun can rise, instead of you walking in a circle in pitch black darkness around the armory. We called it the cuckoo's nest, but, yeah. And I put all my cleaning rods together and I lured this radio from inside the armory to the window, and it only played music at night. And, they put a board over the window like that and kept the radio there for us. It was kind of cool,
Oh, nice.
Because they're just bars, right? They're like just bars. And yeah. And I put a bunch of like infantry Marines on their face because it came too close to my my armor, like Holt who goes there, all on their face. They were so upset with me. And then I put a PFC on his face. He goes, wow, when do I get to do this? I'm like, when you get to the rank of Lance Corporal, motivator. Another non-rate, as you know, right?
Yeah. Hey, Christine. So I got in trouble one time. I ended up smoking the dog crap out of one of my soldiers. And, let's just say he reported me to the platoon sergeant and the first sergeant, and Sergeant Ham got his ass reamed. And it was for smoking him in front of everybody. But in my defense, I was like, I want everybody to learn from his mistake.
That part.
Yeah. So there's this business card. I've hung on to it for a little over a year. I'm sorry, go ahead. On my FGMFK.
I am so sorry. My granddaughter FaceTimed me and I had to answer the phone.
No, you're fine.
So this guy is a lawyer. He's like he's a partner of this big firm. And I keep like losing his card and finding it and losing it and finding it. And he goes, Tim, we need to monetize you. Let's monetize you, because then I would have funds to do a lot more, right? Like, and I just never called him yet, like how? But if I could do it in one episode of Sons of Anarchy, I'd be in, Because people say, Tim, is this your only gig? I'm like, well, I'm kind of well known. Oh, really? I go, yeah, I did one episode of Sons of Anarchy when I was Ubering them, in the car. I'm like, I'm just kidding. Like in the airport, we would wait in a parking lot, and like most of the rides, well, a lot of the rides were just rides down to the gas lamp, which isn't very far from the airport. So it's like a $5 or $6 fare for me. But I just waited 45 minutes for a ride from the airport, hoping it's going like 30 or 40 miles away.
Yeah.
So, I would act like I'm Australian and say, hi, do you mind if I got my koala bear here? My little Canamo, do you mind? I'm like, oh, you're just going downtown, mate. Well, good on you. Good on you. There's about 50 blokes behind me that'll be able to take care of you. Okay, bye. Hang up, cancel the ride.
That's Christine that popped in here that said good morning. She's actually in Australia.
Oh, wow.
I have a lot of Australian followers.
Nice. Nice. I would call Australia to feature construction companies in a magazine online. And they're like, hi, I'm from Business Review Australia and Construction Digital. I'm a research director. They're like, what do you want, team? Like they'd shoot me down and then they'd say, good day. And that made me happy again.
Yeah.
Like the accent, it like ended up on a high perch. It was beautiful. And I had to get 3 hours on the phone and 100 dials and find all my own leads. And Lorraine got me the job because Lorraine was doing it. And they loved Lorraine. They're like, oh, Lorraine, I'm coming for holiday, And I go, it's not like I called you a Brit, like I didn't confuse you. Because we wanted to get the CEO to feature him in the magazine and get their key business partners this little advertisement too. That was it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so do you like Vegemite? Of course we do, team. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I had to get 3 hours on the phone, you guys. Like, yeah.
Vegemite's so gross.
I've never tried it.
It's not good. I'm not a fan.
So are you still in the DC area? I enjoyed being stationed there.
Who, me?
Yes.
No. I said I went to band camp in DC.
Oh, yeah. But did you like it?
Yeah, we caused some trouble. We caused some trouble.
Of course, the train's going to decide to go by right now.
It was a crazy tour. Do you remember that combo? Yeah.
Hey, it's what I do.
That was crazy. I actually was following a car. I thought it was them one night. And when I'd pump gas, I'd wear my Kevlar. Like, just kind of like a Chevy Chase looking, the uncle, in the bathroom, and he's smoking, and, yeah.
You're fine. Go lay down. It's a train. You're okay. It's a train. Go lay down, dude.
Hey, Step Sergeant, how far away is that train from where you're at?
Oh, a ways.
Because one of the places that me and the wife lived when we first moved up to Georgia, over in a little small town between here and where I grew up. And we were
always nice to the puppy.
In a mobile home. So when the train would come by, the whole mobile home would shake because it was right in front of the house, like 100 yards in front of the house.
Yeah, no, that train is probably mile away, something like that.
Sounded like it was in your backyard.
Yeah,
right.
That's because everything echoes out here. I shut the window so you can't hear it. What up, coffee dealer? That's
So it's gonna get a little noisy here for a second. I gotta let two heathens out.
All right. Sounds good. Noisy hell, it sounds like you're strangling them.
Freya sounds like that every time she goes out the door. She does that. Yeah, but just then when she went out the door, that was a little bit louder than what she normally does. When I opened the door just then, there was a rat on my carport, and she took off after it.
Oh, gotcha.
She went head first into the truck. Oh. So my plants out in the garden are up about 4.5, 5 inches now.
The ones you just said, that garden you just sent me, you were just tilled?
Yeah.
What did you plant?
I didn't. My neighbor come down
every one.
No, we didn't. No,
I'm in like 5 chats for Olivia, and it's twitching my anxiety. All the chats going off left and right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I spent like 4 days looking at my phone screen trying to get information out to people all over the country. And I had such a damn bad migraine last night that it just tore me up.
Y'all see that? My granddaughter has a security blanket on top of her.
I literally, last night after I got off the phone with you, I literally turned every device off, like shut everything down, and slept till like noon.
When
they wouldn't stop. It was just.
Hold on, switching. There we go. I got about 4 hours of sleep last night, which is more than I had gotten in
days.
The past 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten to where I take when I go to get ready to go to bed and get back there in my room, I'll take and turn my phone on to do not disturb. But in my settings of it, I have a list of names of people that I know that's had problems over the course of time. And by the way, Sarge, you're one of those that's in that list. So even though my phone's on do not disturb, if one of those numbers calls that's in my phone, it will ring and wake me up for that.
I've got 4 numbers in that list.
And
3 of them are my kids.
Gotta figure out how to do that too.
I think I've got 10 in mine.
That's K9. How are you? You want a box?
I wonder why Lita didn't come up.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, she's always good for, good voice of reason.
Yeah, a lot of them, like her, Foxtrot. I've known a lot of them forever.
Yeah, she does. Lita does a lot of good inspirational stuff, videos and stuff like that.
So if my DoorDash takes off, obviously that sword's I gotta make that happen a little sooner than later. But my other wish list thing is that like multi-screen thing that goes over your laptop.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm foaming at the mouth for one of those babies because I like to be like at the coffee shop, but I'm so used to having multiple screens at home.
Yeah.
Like I was teleworking. I was doing HR for the state, and that was my backup plan. So I got a year experience doing HR for the state, and for the VA. Like if I don't get a job in social work, my backup plan was, maybe HR. I'm just, or just go to the kitchen and work my way through that way, like a lot of people say, mainly to sell time back.
Yeah.
To sell time back. And someone would say stolen valor if I said 16 years, but it was 15 years, 11 months, and like 19 days. So whatever. Like, what I mean? I said 16 years once, and the guy goes, "Oh, your hash marks." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like it's so funny.
That's the thing. You know what? Like people are so. I don't know. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna shut my mouth on that one.
Well, but it's something that like we have to educate people that they have to think about, other people's psyches and things, like people go through things, that's why I teach. I treat anyone. I don't care if you're a janitor. I don't care who you are. I swab some decks. Okay. Like I filled some heads like nothing's above me, so I'm not above Jack. So
My mom always told me to treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO. Show the same respect.
Yeah.
I will say I do miss. Well, I couldn't do it anymore with titanium on my back, but I do kind of miss the buffer rodeos.
You mean the secondary MOS?
Yeah.
Should have been.
How long can you hang on?
Yeah. Well, that's all they cared more about that shininess on the deck than anything else. Like, what's up? Oh, and so when I came in and we got the little, national defense ribbon, right? So the OOD on Fridays, we wear Charlies, on payday Fridays. We clean our weapons. We don't secure until they're clean. But then you kind of know who your fat bodies are, because it's this khaki shirt, right? Tucked in and all that. Well, I come into the S1 office because I did admin, and the S1 is like with the CL and Sergeant Major, and the OOD's in there, and he's got one ribbon on, right? And I have my chucks hanging in the head, and I'm missing my ribbon. Now, let me think about this, okay? Because I came in around like 05, right? And he snagged my ribbon. It couldn't have been anyone. I'm just saying, you guys, like, if I was the OOD, I'd say, hey, motivator, I'm sorry I screwed the pooch. I had duty last night. I saw your ribbon. I snagged it. I'm going to get you one real fast, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, right? Like,
That's all right. I was loading the plane at the end 05 when we were coming home, and I had set my DCU Gore-Tex down on the flight line because, again, I'm loading the plane. Somebody walked off with my Gore-Tex. Yep.
It's sad. I was at like the Marine Supply when I was checking out of the unit at Camp Pendleton, and there were these guys that were coming back that had like been blown up, been through HELL and back, and they were raking them over the coals for not having all their gear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were having to do financial statements and stuff. It just was heartbreaking,
Oh, I got lucky. I never got charged for the Gore-Tex, but still, I was like, that and my whoopee. Somebody collect my whoopee. Or as you guys call it, a poncho liner. It's a whoopee.
Okay, that's where it originated from, that other phrase that I wasn't familiar with. Got it. Yeah, I was just sad.
It's like the military security blanket.
Yeah.
Larry, you're muted. Larry, you're muted.
I've actually still got mine.
Do you?
Yes. Well, I had my original one from when I was in the first time. I just had it put up, but it kind of had some holes and stuff in it. So
probably moth holes. It served with Washington.
Yeah. So when I went back in the second time, and we had to go through turning in gear when we got back from Iraq that we couldn't keep, I had went home and picked up my old one that had all the holes in it and used it to turn it into CIF and kept the new one.
Well, around 98, I was transferring out of 111, which is a little artillery unit Camp Pendleton. I was going to Okinawa, and I was missing some gear, like, because the sleeping bag was a 2-piece sleeping bag, and I was missing a piece. And in the S1 office, here comes a supply officer, because I could have got the hookup at supply. They would have hooked me up, but the supply officer had to tap dance while he was like $47,000 in the hole on 782 gear, which is the pack and all that jack.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go get the hookup at supply. Okay. I think I'm going to go out in town and buy my crap to be able to turn it in. So, yeah.
Go to any pawn shop. You'll find it outside of a military base. You'll find all kinds of TA-15 gear.
Yeah. Camp Pendleton, really big base, a ton of dry cleaners, a ton of haircut, all that stuff. So, and then of course that. Yeah. I didn't need to be part of that command investigation. Okay.
Ranger Joe's was our friend.
Yeah.
And I don't think near Fort Benning got shut down.
Well, I got to tell you, I love the fact that Ranger Joe's would ship to an APO,
right?
AE, like overseas, because you could get boots and everything from Ranger Joe's sent to you.
Okay. Do you have a logo for this? Is that behind you? Is that the logo?
Yes, sir.
Because if you send it to me, in this link, I will promote it for next week, or like on my Facebook and stuff, and maybe we can drive some traffic. Because
I have a video with this logo that I made where it's just the logo, and I will DM that to you at the end of this.
Yeah, and even just the logo, so I can make a video. You know what I mean? Like, because it helps.
I'll have to send it to Larry, and he'll have to send it to you because I don't have you on all the other stuff.
Oh, and I could screenshot it too, maybe. But so no, that's just an idea to help.
Well, what I'll do is I have the logo, and I'll just text it to Larry, and he can get it over to you.
Yeah. Hey, Simon. Yeah, I mean, if it helps,
No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's effortless. Hey, Simon. I'm glad we didn't confuse him because we thought it was Simone at first. And he had these little 2 nest eggs, and then we cut them off. But he answers to Simon, so yeah, he's a big old male cat, like long-haired cat. He wants some treats. They tracked me down, man. I already opened another can of food. Don't tell Lorraine, because Coco passed away. No, Coco. Yeah, I get them all mixed up. But Coco, I think her thyroid's going. She's older, losing weight, and she likes this wet food a lot. She just licks it, So I'm like, screw it. I'm not having any alcohol. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going out. I'm not.
That's kind of me. I don't go out anywhere. I'm here at the house all the time, unless I'm not door dashing or taking my kid to school. But I'm generally here.
Well, I like to socialize, and that's why probably how I got through Uber and Lyft for so long. Long hours, and I got used to it. I got used to chatting with people in the back seat and stuff. And I like to go to happy hour to socialize. Like I'm not going to get ripped or anything. And then that thing called cannabis came into my life a little bit, and my wife, if I could find it in the Bible, she might join in, but she kind of got burned out because her parents were major hippies. I delivered a lot of speedy weedy to them. First it was the post office, and then I went UPS after that because a package got held up for 3 weeks. And when the post office says they can't track your package, you need the number. I'm like, I think if there was something in that package, you'd be able to tell me. Like, you'd be calling, right? Like, come on now. I'm not buying that, but I would go with a hat and glasses, and I'd say it's from your pal Al Green because he's a musician, my father-in-law. And he actually got drafted in the Army, and he got sent to Germany, but some of his bandmates didn't. And the band never got back together. They cut a record called The New Loves. And I did a fundraiser in Jacksonville, Florida. And one of the nonprofits we raised money for was Johnny Van Zant's daughter that passed away from a brain tumor. Yeah. She has a pay it forward kind of nonprofit. And Johnny Van Zant did a little promotional thing for me to solicit it, Like he did a little video. It was kind of cool. And he gave me some guitars signed and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, I was going to reach out and say, hey, if you guys ever in Philly, I'd like to have this, the vet that never got to travel with his band because of the draft, come and jam with you guys. He's a bass player, I'm going to try that. And just like these people, I went down to Fox Chase this last weekend. a cancer treatment center, and I just greeted all of the patients getting their infusions because my friend gets them there, you know, and her dad's a retired Sergeant Major Army, and she wears his rank on her vest, you know, in honor of him, and does a lot for veterans. And so because of that, they're trying to get me at this hometown hero thing at the Phillies. But I want to bring her dad and have him go out there instead of me, you know? Like, I want to get him some kind of recognition that he never got to have because of the draft, you know? Like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's why, you guys, not to segregate our communities any more than we already do to each other. But I think our country needs to understand that a draft can happen. And that's why I'm going to try to do this. It's just a day to honor our draftees.
I think that's actually a really good idea.
It comes with education too, though, you know, about the drafts in the past and consequences, your vote, and it might inspire more people to vote. You never know, because there's a lot of people that really don't vote, right? Like in the big essence, the big picture of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's with education about your vote, and decisions have consequences, and we have to think long term, not just short term. And you know, because a lot of them are passing away, you know, that were drafted. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make that work with my notoriety.
Yeah, I'll say the Vietnam guys are the new World War II guys. You know what I mean? Because they're up there in age. You figure I was born in '81, so when I was a little kid, those guys were the same age as the Vietnam guys now. You know what I mean? And all those guys are getting up there.
Yeah, and we still have some Korean War vets out there, you know, as well, and they had a draft in the Korean War too.
Yep.
My stepdad's father, Army Air Corps, and then Air Force draft in Korea, and his family came over on the Trail of Tears.
Oh wow!
And he never asked. I go, hey, Grandpa, because I took that last name out of respect, because my stepfather, he was Army. He came to a family with 6 kids, and he lost his son to a GUN accident when he was 8.
Oh wow!
And before high school, I took his last name out of respect, and I tried to do something positive with it. My original last name was Ponder, but I didn't have a high enough IQ to keep that. And yeah, like, so, you know, and he loves his fire water, Jack Daniels. Okay, like, Mom would say, Tim, here's $5. Can you drag him from the car to the house? You know, like,
yeah,
he's up every morning to work on my grandpa's farm.
My stepdad was like that too. It wasn't Jack Daniels, it was Budweiser. And he would get up 5:30 in the morning. He owned a tree service business and would go out cutting trees all day, have a couple beers at lunch, and then right at quitting time, he's drinking beers all the way home until he passed out.
My granddaddy used to do that with Old Thompson liquor.
Oh,
that stuff was rock good. Hey, Tim, I sent you the logo on Facebook, and I sent you MRB's cover photo that they did for Step Sarge for his lives. For this.
When you invite me, I get a link for this right here. So that link would be good, because I could put it in that post, maybe. I don't know. But
well, what it is when I do the links generally, because I set it up as a live event, like a few days before the live goes out, and I'll do it earlier. Like maybe I'll do it tomorrow for next Wednesday or something. But when I share that out, it brings up like the event time and all that stuff. So all you got to do is tell people they can just come in and register right there underneath that event link. And once they do, as soon as I go live, it'll go out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So my grandpa, you know, he never held anyone. He had no disdain for anyone, you know, considering what happened to his family. And the Supreme Court said that he could keep his gold in their land, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the government had another plan with the Trail of Tears. Like, you know,
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't realize that, you know. Supreme Court barks things occasionally, and it's like the government decides whether they want to roll with it or not, kind of thing. Sadly, to the reservation.
Oh yeah. So I was out door dashing yesterday with maybe it was Monday because my son had off school. Anyway, so I ended up going through Jackson, Missouri, where I had to DoorDash at, and there's a Trail of Tears State Park right there.
There's a Harley there too, dealership there, right?
Yeah, and then my son goes, "Dad, the Trail of Tears went through here." I'm like, "Absolutely, yes, it did."
Yeah, because we stopped there with Run for the Wall. I went with Run for the Wall, which is a neat little like motorcycle thing. They pick up motorcycles as they go to DC for Memorial Weekend. Yeah. That's why it rang a bell. Jackson. Oh yes, I remember that. Yes. Yeah, it's powerful.
That's coming up too, sir. You're gonna have to work on that sword quick.
Oh, I know it's coming up, and I'm working on my belly too. I've mentally went to the gym every day this week. Now next week I'll put it into physical motion.
Yeah.
But I have curbed the calorie intake.
Well, that's a big help too.
I mean, that is for anybody. Like when they say, I just can't, hey, write down what you're eating. Let me see. Okay. Let's see what you can't think you can't not do. What I think you can do, what you want to do, even if you can't go run 3 miles in under 18 minutes, which I have no idea how in the world we did that. I was under 18 minutes for a while, you know?
I thought I was doing good with a 14 flat 2 mile.
I'm on the treadmill, like going it because it'll hit the 6 and I'm running, hanging on. Like, how did I do 17:15? I have no idea. Am I gonna pass away? That heart 180, 190, like you know. So holy mackerel, you guys. I don't know. So when I saw Dakota Meyer re-enlisting into the reserves, I'm like, well, he's younger. You know what I mean? You know, he's still relatively late 30s, maybe like, you know.
Yeah.
But it might just be a dog and pony show thing for him anyway, right? Kind of, you know, like.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible anymore.
Tool, you know.
Oh, for sure. It'd be a good recruiting tool.
The Army would be all over that. I wish I was in the Army, man, because that saluting Marine thing, that saluting soldier thing, they would have taken that and said, hey, Sergeant Major Chambers, we need you to go over here, okay? Like,
yep.
I'm just saying, like.
Oh, no, for sure.
The Marine Corps, whatever. I mean, it might, well, you know, we're smaller kind of, and this colonel goes, hey, Chambers, how you doing? I'm like, not too good, sir. Why? Oh, my boss got promoted to general. He didn't do my fitness report for 9/11. And the board is convened, the promotion board, E6. He goes, let me have a chat with Uncle Mike. Meaning Mike Hagee, the commandant, right? Like,
yeah.
So, and this guy is a Vietnam vet. He's in the IG's office at the Pentagon. Little guy, does 1 million pull-ups. He's always running. And he'd always see me out like at the Vietnam Memorial when we did a name reading. I was always out there like doing volunteer stuff, you know. It didn't start when I jumped off the curb, you know. But so he came up to me before the message was released. And he goes, congratulations. I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, and granted, like in the Marine Corps, we have this list. I was way down the list. So I wasn't getting promoted for probably 3/4 of that year, you know, and they don't backdate it from the selection date, right? Like, so sadly, just frock me until then, at least, you know, but, and then he invited me to his retirement, and his wife was, he goes, if you're not doing anything, I'd like to invite you to my retirement. I'm like, yes, sir. I don't think I have anything better to do. Like, you know, and his wife goes, hey, how old are you? Oh, are you religious? I'm like, in the name of the Father. She goes, oh my gosh, because she has a daughter, right? So then I go to the house for the retirement, and me and the daughter are karaokeing Summer Lovin'. I go, I wonder what base she's doing now. But it was so much fun, you know, and it's neat when you run into those real genuine people, you know.
Yeah, I can say I never did anything cool like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, you know, people, like genuine people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if I went out, I had one buddy and maybe two, but maybe mainly one that, you know, we could go out and be there for each other, and then wow, you smell good. I went and bought the same cologne. He got pissed off at me, but whatever. So, you know, like that you could just trust with anything, you know, like, okay, where do we have to move the bodies, right? Like,
yeah, I got a buddy of mine, Kevin. He was one of my soldiers when we deployed the second time, and he's that dude. I could be like, I could call him up and go, hey, bring a shovel, and he's not going to ask any questions. And
yeah, because in DC you can't park on certain streets in the morning because of the traffic.
I found that out the hard way.
Or they'll tell you, and he go, hey, Chemba, you need to go get my car. I'm like, okay. I go get his car, you know, like it was nothing. He didn't have to say anything more, anything less, right? And someday I might ask him what really happened to him, because my landlord was a little fruitcake kind of guy, right? And the women always thought, wow, you have such a nice place, because I helped him paint and stuff. And he goes, and then they go, oh, no wonder it's so nice. Your roommate's gay. I'm like, whoa, slow down, motivator. Nice, your roommate's gay. I'm like, whoa, colored shirt with my little war bag outside the gate. Okay. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, and then one night, Steve, my landlord, came home and Edwin was on the couch. So Steve, like, went over to Edwin, you know, started doing whatever. And the next morning, Steve goes, Tim, I have to tell you, I need to speak to Edwin. I'm like, why? I'm just curious. He goes, well, I came home drunk and he was on the couch. And then when I went to work, Edwin goes, hey, Chamba, I need to talk to Steve. I'm like, why? You know, like, acting like I didn't know. Right. But then my girlfriend, you know, good friends with, you know, Steve, you know, and Steve would like get drunk and he would say more than meets the eye to her about Mr. Edwin from Colombia. Okay. Like, I'm like, oh man, do I really have to hear this? You know, like, but yeah, good friend. He's actually retiring. He got passed over for lieutenant colonel. He's doing all this things, best interest of the Marine Corps, unaccompanied tours to Bahrain and all this. And his monitor, we have these monitors that are kind of in charge of the job, people, and move them around. Well, the monitor failed to say, hey, Major, we need to get you some XO time. Let's get you some command time under your belt, so then you'll be a little bit more competitive for lieutenant colonel.
Yeah.
But he's out there unaccompanied over and over again, you know. And we were together at the Pentagon in 9/11 and all that stuff. And he studied harder than me, MESEP, all that good stuff, you know. So, you know, he's ready, but yeah, it kind of sucks. Yeah. It just would have been nice. I'm biased, I'll be honest with you, but you know.
It's understandable.
Move to the Army. There are probably a lot more colonel seats in the Army, you know?
Depending on your MOS.
Lieutenant colonel. Well, you're bigger, obviously, you know, it's just.
Yeah. I got to tell you, it's probably just like the Marine Corps. The fastest promoting MOS in the Army is chaplain.
Yep.
Yeah.
And chaplain's assistant, actually.
Okay. We call them an RP, religious, whatever program is, or whatever. Okay. That's interesting. Well, I sat with a chaplain once and I go, hey, my command, they, you know, they don't see my volunteer work as an asset, whatever. And he goes, well, let's talk about the Pharisees. Like, what? Because the Pharisees were like fake people.
Yeah.
So he's back in the command. Like, he's not even, I'm like, what? Like, so I just got out of that office. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I sat with a chaplain once. Yeah, one time. And it was a National Guard chaplain, so did he really count? I mean, but I was National Guard too, so.
Well, we're not. How is it put the other day? And don't you go off either, Sarge. Don't you go off either. But the other day, you're not a veteran because you were National Guard. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And apparently I'm full of BS and more BS and more BS.
Yeah. That was put me in the same boat too. So,
but you know me,
and I've seen the paperwork. So,
yeah.
My wife was Army National Guard, and she worked some active, like for a month or two, doing dispersing at the Indiantown Gap in Pennsylvania, and she got called up for Grenada. She was on the flight line. They didn't go that night, kind of thing, and it's hard because I always say, well, my wife's a vet too, and she always plays it down, and then because she didn't serve enough time active or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she doesn't get any benefits or anything.
Well, so that's what hit me. So I had both my deployments plus 7 months prior to deployment on my DD-214s, but they only paid me at 85% of my GI Bill. Because I was like 3 months short of that third year. So they took 15% off of my GI Bill when I went to college.
And that's where I kind of got lucky as far as my kids were concerned. Since I didn't use my GI Bill, I got lucky because I actually had between the two times I was in, I actually had 4 years and 3 months, I think it was. So my kids actually got full GI Bills. Each one of them got a full GI Bill to go to college.
Well, and my wife, she didn't go. They didn't, she didn't go that day, right? She could have gone, but she doesn't. She just feels a little like. I always try to make her feel like part of the family, though, and she doesn't expect anything either, like some people, like way back, they served and they rolled on,
yeah.
But I always make it feel good, like,
Yeah, but Tim, now it's made kind of more political and everything, and
yeah,
with the folks that are now, they don't look at that, and I always take and tell some of them, they're like, oh, well, you were National Guard, you're not worth this, you're not worth that. And I'm like, I want you to think about something. They're like, what? I said 2005, 2006, Georgia Army National Guard deployed to Iraq. We lost 8 guys from our unit, and from the brigade, total brigade losses was 13 for that year. And 101st come in to take over for us. They lost 300 in the first 6 months that they were in country.
We were over, so Ohio National Guard, we deployed one, my buddy, and an American civilian KBR driver.
Wow.
And when we got that, so that was the whole week leading up to Easter Sunday of 2004. We were attacked 5 out of 7 days on the road. And then on Easter Sunday, they tried to overrun BIOP. And we placed our gun trucks up on the tank berms and around the wall fighting to help defend BIOP.
Wow. And I can't believe that you wouldn't get the full, like, see, the government like half behinds everything. For you to have combat service, then how you wouldn't get your educational benefit? Why would they be tied into months?
Well, it's like, I have my, and well, here's the thing too. And the VA was like, because when they were asking me about the PTSD and the brain injuries and all that stuff, they're like, do you have a combat action badge or an EIB or a CIB? I'm like, I don't have a CIB because I was an infantry. I was a truck driver, but yes, I have a combat action badge. They're like, oh, well, that's going to help you get all your benefits easier. No, it don't. It did not. Did not at all.
Hey, I might be able to sneak up the ranks to make some changes through the social work manage. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. You never know.
I mean, that'd be cool because they definitely need it.
And these are some basic things.
Yeah. Basic things that unfortunately it seems like we're the only ones that think about.
Because they've not been through it and they're just unattached from it. And okay, so I'm gonna go work for this young girl that just did the internship at the VA. Now she works there, social worker, for the homeless outreach program. Okay, they've got like 8 or 9 programs. And so I'm going to see what they actually get done from 8 to 4:30, you know, out in the field. They go out in the community, right?
Yeah.
What do they do? What resources do they have? Look, I can't walk by a Popeye's chicken and not see that chicken and say, what are you going to do with that chicken? When you close, can I get that chicken? We can feed some bodies. Like, be resourceful.
Yeah.
I mean, my mind always runs like that, okay? Like, so
that's one thing.
Like,
as a chef, I hate wasting food. Like, I would rather give it out to the shelters or something like that than see it go in the trash.
Yeah. So I just hope she embraces my enthusiasm. I'm going to walk very lightly. I'm not going to walk like I think I know anything. And see what that really entails. Because, you know, you and I and all of us here, we'll be able to see through BS pretty quickly, okay? Like, I just say it. And I understand it's bureaucracy and all that too, right?
Yeah.
So there might not be no Old Bay seasoning in this one, okay? Like, but there needs to be. They need to be popping and jumping and running. And I'm sorry, that's a life. It's not an 8 to 4:30 thing for me.
Yeah.
It never was.
That's for us. That's a 24/7 job.
Yes, thank you.
When it comes to our brothers and sisters, it really is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, like I have it tattooed on me, the IGY6, because it's not just words to me. It's something I hold near and dear. Like when I say I got your back, that means I got your back.
Well, all I know is that a Marine I know got drunk in a bar once and got a tattoo of the bar. It's the Chop Shop Pub in Seabrook, New Hampshire. But no, I get what you're saying, and that's a cool tattoo, sir. I do have a Marine Corps tattoo. Like, what's up with that? Is Gung-O's is
now mind you, I was a whole lot thinner and had a 6-pack when I got Army put on my stomach in Old English letters, and now it looks like it's going around a globe. But that's besides the fact.
Hey, Tim. You remember I said I was in one time before my last deployment, right?
Yes.
So
Desert Storm, right?
So this is the tattoo that I got to commemorate my first active duty unit, which was 5th Battalion, 8th Infantry Division back in 89-90.
Wow.
Dude, I was like 8. How's that make you feel, Larry?
Shut the hell up. And the funny thing about my tattoo though is it's kind of a joke towards everybody else of me basically laughing in their face because they were all being derrieres to me.
I actually qualified. I don't know if y'all had the Dragon guns in the Marine Corps.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
I qualified expert in 1989 as a Dragon gunner. So the only thing that I carried when we went to the field, the only thing that I was supposed to carry on me was the sighting system for that Dragon gun. Everybody else had to carry all my other stuff. Because that sighting system was $1.5 million, the sighting system for that.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, in 29 Palms, we do Joint Terrorist Task Force training, and the Army comes out with their little Mars or MLARs. It's all these rockets shooting out of the back of a truck like thing.
Yeah.
And they went
MLRS.
everywhere. They scared the crap out of us because they were like, where are they going? You know, like, yeah, I was stationed with an artillery unit, but I was admin. But my enthusiasm got me to the CO's driver, so I got to go out to all the operations.
Hey, trucker's wife.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, come here. You know, and I have to take
Thank you for the heartbeat.
100-pound rounds back and forth and all that crap. But yeah.
Guys, I am going to have to shut this down.
Yep, me too.
Because I'm on a strict time limit with the radio station. So,
all right.
We will be back next week, 8 to 10. I will actually. Larry sent you that logo and stuff, Tim. So, and I'll make the video tomorrow for next week and get you tagged in that and sent over to you. And this way we can. I'd like to keep this going and keep growing with it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it Dummy? Yeah, because that was their first one. It just like blew my mind. I was like, how, I thought there was only so many genres. And then when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, what is this? Whoo! They're amazing. Let's see. Capo 6? What? It was different. There was nothing else. There was
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.